Hey, it's Eric here at the Saltwater Edge. Today we're going to be bringing you a new series we're calling Rig or Wrong. In this series, we're going to be discussing our personal favorite lures, what we do to modify those lures, and then we're going to be taking a look at how those lures perform in the water before and after our modifications. My go-to lure here in Rhode Island and really fishing anywhere in the ocean is the Daiwa SP Minnow. My preference is the 6-inch floating in bone. I really like the action on this. It's a fantastic lure when fish are on the surface. I find it works really well if I'm marking fish on the boat, and it makes them come up after the lure. And it's a great search lure. So if I think there's fish somewhere, I'll throw this out, and a lot of times it works out great for me. The bone color is awesome. It's a really nice bone. What I don't like about this lure is the trebles. I like to switch these out for single hooks. I would rather lose a healthy fish than have a fish die when I'm trying to release it, especially with striped bass these days. I think it's really important. My goal when I switch out these trebles is to not change the action of the lure at all. I really like the way this lure performs with the trebles on it. I like the way it swims. So what I want to do is not alter the way it swims at all. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be switching out the split ring for an Owner Hyperwire 6 and a BKK Lone Diablo 4. And I've got these pre-rigged on here, and my goal is to have this not change the performance of the lure at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find out how much these trebles and split rings weigh, and then how much these single hooks and split rings weigh, and I'm gonna see if I can match those up as close as possible. You can see our original stock split ring and treble combo, and we're gonna give that away, and it looks like that comes to 3 grams. And next we're gonna weigh the Owner Hyperwire split ring and the Lone Diablo hook combo, and I'm hoping that comes out pretty similar. And it looks like that also rings in at 3 grams. So I'm thinking if we add these to the lure, to that SP Minnow, we're not going to have much of a change in the action. That's at least what I'm predicting and what I'm hoping. Alright, so now that we know that our stock split ring and treble combo weigh 3 grams, and our Owner Hyperwire and Lone Diablo 4-aught weigh 3 grams, we're going to add those back to the lure, and hopefully we haven't impacted the way it swims at all. So we're going to add that front hook on first. We took that treble off already to weigh it. So just take your split rings and feed it right through. Good pair of split ring pliers makes this easy. So I got that front hook facing forward, and next we're going to remove that rear treble. Removing that rear treble is really easy. You just take your split ring pliers, open up the split ring, and then use that until it comes right off. And for my rear single hook, I like that to face back and up, so I'm going to line that up in advance. So that's facing back and up. Open up that split ring, and then feed it on until it snaps into place, and there you have it. So we found some time to go out and test both of these lures, both the treble version and the single hook version. What I'm looking for in these lures is a similar pattern, a similar startup speed, and similar action. I'm hoping that there's no impact directly on the action of this lure, and we're going to see what happens. So I got a couple videos queued up here, and we're going to take a look together. So this is a treble video, and you can see it's got a pretty quick startup. Yeah, I mean, great action. That's the action I'm hoping for and anticipating. It's exactly what I would expect out of the SP Minnow. Here's another video of the treble. And quick startup, great action. You know exactly what you want to see out of the SP. The floating version stays pretty close to the surface. You know, good yank, you can get it down a little deeper. Here's a third treble video. yeah, I mean that's what you want to see out of the SP. And now we're going to switch over and take a look at the single hook video. I'm really hoping that this appears similar, because this is how I fish it, and I'm hoping that it has a good action on it as well. So here's the single hook. And right off the bat, it does look like it's a little slower to get started. You know, a little slower on the action, but still has that nice swim pattern. Definitely a little less wiggle, particularly in the tail. Let's take another look. So here's another one, a little closer up. You can see that's actually a pretty quick get up and go on that. I would say that it still has a little bit less action on it. I wonder if that's due to the drag that the treble hooks have versus the single hooks. So the weight, remember, is exactly the same, but the drag may be different based on that treble hook. I mean, the inlines are very streamlined as it's swimming backwards. Let's take one last look at the single hook. And yeah, definitely a little slower to get up and go to get that action started, but once it gets going, it really does look like it has similar action, which is good to see. It looks like there's a definite trade-off between the single hooks and the treble hooks. That rear treble looks like it just puts on a little more drag to get the lure working quicker and throughout the swim pattern. The single hook version still has great action, still swims really nicely, and it's what I'm going to continue to fish just because you know, I'm fishing catch and release for stripers, which is mostly what I catch on these, and it's easier to get them back in the water quicker, less damage to the mouth, better hookup in the corner of the mouth, none of that, you know, gill plate marring that can happen when you have a couple trebles on a lure. So it's a fun experiment, and it's fun to get out and try out these different lures with different methods and changing them up, seeing what works and what doesn't. Let us know in the comments below what lures you want to see tried out. You know, different rigging techniques, different hook techniques, different hook styles. You know, we'd love to hear what you're using and what you want to see us put to the test. So let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the Saltwater Edge, and we'll see you in the next video.